Okay, so in the previous lesson we discussed, or we looked at minor pentatonic, the A minor pentatonic or the C major pentatonic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a little bit of the some applications, some jazz styled applications, and by that I just mean harmonically. You're a little bit free thinking in this, in that when you play a chord, you don't necessarily have to play only the notes of that chord. You may have been taught that, we should play the third and the seventh to get, the guide tones. We should play the one and the fifth to have a very complete sound, very final sound. There's our 3 and our 7 sound against that tonic, You can get a real final sound from any of those, or perhaps a bit more of a coloured sound from the 7th. But there's also other types of chords you can play and still play A minor pentatonic. For example, you can play A minor 9, A minor with a 9th at the top. That's how us guitarists play it. And that sound there, some other different voicings for A minor 9, I suppose. It's one of my favourite ones there. It's a really nice one. Anyway, but you can still play it's going to sound a consonant, right? So that means that over a minor 9, over a minor 7, over a minor 6, minor 11, that our pentatonic is going to work over that, and any sorts of variations on those notes that I just read out. And sorry, those chords that I just described. So let's have a look at the second. So that's our first mode, and of course all of those sounds that we went through, which were all of these positions, work over any of those chords. Okay, so we've described a simple way of getting around those chords without having to play every single note of those chords. Just because it's a minor 9 add 6 or minor 6 9 there, no 7, doesn't mean we have to play all of those notes that are contained within that chord. It can sound nicer sometimes to miss those notes. You do have to do this with care, of course, when we're getting into more advanced chord structures, because sometimes at the top of the voicing will be a really strong ninth, maybe in the melody. And if you're soloing that against this sound, then perhaps you've got to play an improvised line against that sound. You might want to stay away from the C, because the B is kind of sound a little bit clashing. But anyway, that's a very long way of describing the first chord. The second chord would be a C major, a C 6 9, a C add 9, a C add 6, or C6, sorry. We might play it in any of those voicings. Nice Maori strum there. You could play, and you could play gets a really cool sound right against that. And you could also play major 7, major 9, Lydian sort of sound. You might not hit all those notes, but you know that you can use an A minor pentatonic. So now we know that over A minor pentatonic we can play all those chords that I mentioned, A minor 9, blah blah blah. We can also play all these C chords. We can also play a D sus chord. Which that sort of mode of the minor pentatonic sounds cool on. So D sus 7, D sus add 9, D sus 9, D 11, D sus 13. Again, it's maybe not hit. It doesn't necessarily have to hit the 13th to be able to be used over it. Which is kind of a cool sound. So. And then we have a minor 7 flat 6 sound, or a minor 7 sharp 5 sound, or even just a C add 9 over E sound. And lastly we have another really great cool sound for like suspended 13. That might be, and that again, that's just our fifth sort of position of that A minor pentatonic, starting from G. That will be the 1, if G was now a tonic, 1, 2, 4, 5, natural 6. So no 7, no third. And it's got this really cool sort of open sound. So I could also play that sound over like a G minor. And get a pretty cool sound. Very open sound. I really love that sound. I call that like the Dorian, Dorian styled sort of pentatonic sound, because you get all the cool notes of Dorian without the third, or the flat third or the flat 7, which it can sort of obviously give it away. Anyway, so now we've got all these different sounds. In the next video, we're going to talk about how I would give you some really solid examples of using those sounds in a few different other jazzy sort of styled harmonic situations.